Now, this is CSIR Central Food Technological Research Institute. It is not to me, it is to me a center of wisdom that prevails in this sector. Mr. Ganesh Bhatti today told me, which I am fascinated, that under CSIR,
yes.
is the largest single public sector
research institute
in the world. Well, this piece of information is very heartening, and here there are 300 doctorate, madam, roughly.
Roughly.
So this is fascinating that here in-depth research is happening place. So they are running it engineering science, technology development, transitional research, and food production and safety. We'll go a little more in detail. So you can see here packaging of processed food in metal container and retort pouches, food packaging gadgets and machinery, development. I'm sure you all would have been visited in past day. So you would have seen these all the facilities which are as CFTIR. Now, what is very important when you go for a food packaging is, what is the shelf life? We all see indirectly it affects our lives. So it's very, very important, the food safety part. And this is what is analyzed and assessed by CFTRI. They are running several academic programs, MSc Food Technology, Integrated MSc PhD program, Flour Milling Technology and PhD programs. They are also offering services on technology transfers. I understand, if my briefing was right, Amul was one of the major beneficiary of some of the development that took place at CFTIR. There are pilot plants. I have also seen a dosa making plant, was that, Dr. Majay? And there is a workshop on skill development that takes place. After this brief introduction of CFTIR, I move to IPPTA. Imagine a situation, say about 60, 70 years back, when paper mill came to India and there were no books available. Internet came much later. So how would you transfer the technology to other people? So there used to be one Mr. Poddar who in 1964 thought of creating an association, and he created the association with 26 members. And then with all his effort, our first seminar was held in 1964 at Vigyan Bhavan. That itself was a very big achievement on our part. Now, our association is a professional engaged in pulp, paper and board newsprint. Our objective is to create awareness about the constantly changing technology around the world. You all would have heard a lot that trees are being cut to make paper. But that's not true. 80% paper is made by recycling the paper. And 20% paper is made from wood and agricultural residue. For the wood, which is a percentage about 12%, that also no forests are cut. So I want you to please note down, a paper mill does not get cut forests. They go for social farming. They provide clone to the farmers. They grow eucalyptus tree. They do their own farming as well. And the tree grown by paper industry is taken away by plywood industry. So for every tree that we cut, we plant 5 trees. So we are not only supplying, cultivating wood for our own consumption, partly we are also supplying to the plywood industry. And this is all. We have a family of 2,500 members currently. Our footprint all over the country and neighboring country is about reach of 1.5 million paper mill professionals through digital media. We organized workshop, then overseas trip, which we call it a knowledge trip, and all in the field of pulp and paper making. We also publish all details of paper industry. Now, we are a responsible organization, and we try to release Lifetime Achievement Award to those who have done a phenomenal work in the field of paper, pulp and paper industry. One question which will come, why are we here? Well, we are here because there is a plastic menace all over the world. India is no exception, and single-use plastic, which we throw, how much it is killing the marine life, how much it is affecting the ecological system, you cannot describe it. So, government has announced ban on single-use plastic. We want to replace it with paper as much as possible. And since CFTRI has a knowledge, wisdom, capacity to really work and guide paper industry, which way to go, what to do, how to create paper, manufacture paper, we soon say we have joined hand to launch this seminar here for 2 days. Thank you very much, and I will be happy to receive questions.
It is very much essential considering its ill effects on the environment as well as on the marine life. Now your question is how far and how fast we can replace this single-use plastic. Some of the plastics we can replace and remove immediately with the suitable grade of paper. Certain grades of plastic which require some durability or the strength, it requires some strength. For that purpose, now we are thinking about the barrier coating or some kind of developments to increase its dimensional stability. So that is the first step we are doing as a paper industry. So we have already developed now cup stock to replace these polycoated cup stocks which are available in the market. So there are certain, even the bags, plastic bags, now it is already replaced with a similar strength properties which is made of corn. That type of development and the market, it is readily available. So already the steps have been taken to replace this single-use plastic, but the amount which has to take place in the near future, that requires some scientific study as well as some investment. In the initial stage of development, the cost may be slightly higher, but in the due course of time, with the volume of when the volume of the production increases, definitely we can match the cost of that product also. Secondly, one scientific study says that if we look at only the cost, we cannot save the environment. The cost of not doing it is much higher than what of cost of not doing it. It will be 9 times higher, costlier if we don't replace the plastic now. That much damage it is already creating. That is why the developing nations, they are asking for the money from the developed countries to support this net zero achievement. All these things are coming up. So that's why immediately we have to step into that mode of replacing this single-use plastic immediately. Otherwise, we will be in a very big trouble. See, today about 450 million tons of plastic it is generated every year globally, and hardly 6 to 7% is recycled, whereas paper it is almost 70% now. Mike.
This plastic menace has been there since many years. So what made you to take up this subject now? Because government banned single-use plastic from 5 years ago. No. Was there any direction from the government to come up with an alternative, or is it on your own you have taken up this subject?
See, it is not only the question of government banning it, because we are also knowing that what is the bad effect of plastic in the society. This type of replacement, it has started long back, about 4-5 years before this government has brought this rule to ban single-use plastic. Already the developments were there. People or the manufacturers, they were making this cup stock earlier also. Even we were making some of the molds or the paper plates much earlier. So that work was already there from the paper industry.
From the association side, this subject
Formally we are bringing it now, Otherwise, we were discussing this subject many times in our seminars earlier also. But this is the right time, and we are fortunate enough today to have this seminar in CFTRI, where they can give us more knowledge to develop such type of products. And we are in a right place now.
So prevail on the government to come out with a law which can help you or ban single-use plastic.
Talk about food packaging. There are few factors that are very, very important. One is the moisture content in the food. The second could be the pH. All of this affects the quality of the food. So always we are trying to play around with additives, with temperature, with pH to protect the food. Apart from that, the package also gives us the ability to print things on it. It could be the batch date, it could be the expiry date, it could be the compositional information. But like it was told, some of these can migrate into the food. If the moisture content is high, water can come, it can become soggy. So it is a huge challenge for plastic to be replaced by paper. At the same time, most of the single-use plastic goes towards the beverage and other food packaging only. So it makes sense that CFTRI has to work along with the industry and hold hands to come with alternates so that we will find solutions. At the same time, packaging also offers protection to the food. There will not be adulteration, it will not get spoiled, it will not get exposed to light or oxygen. So all of these also it will protect. So if paper has to be an alternate to plastic, we have to find solutions for all of these factors. Only then we will be successful. And then, of course, the biggest challenge, bringing down the cost.
Nandini, Bharat News TV, Mysore.